There we go. There we might as always come something. All right. What's going on, everybody? This your boy King Gabe here, and boy, we are. It is hard to believe, but in this, it's been 4 months since I started the Bible readings. Of course, it wasn't live streamed at first until I think like probably like half, not at the beginning of March, but like half, like probably like the first Sunday or so after March or something like that. But anyway, at some point in March, I started, live streaming the Bible readings here every Wednesday. Um, so yeah, but like I say, all together as of today, the last day and also last Wednesday of April 30th this year, we are actually about to finish the book of Genesis, meaning that next month will be Exodus. We must all the firstborn male children shall die, so that they be written, so that they be done. Let my people go. So yeah, that's gonna be the beginning of that journey starting next month there. Yep. Cancer. I think probably we would have probably would have arrived there sooner. Probably would have arrived to at least Exodus. I would have say probably at some point close to Easter we would have arrived there had I started doing it like live streams from the very beginning. But like I say, I didn't think of that. So I mean, but like I say, at least we're doing it now, and like I say, we made quite a journey. And see somebody is in giving the likes there. What's up? What's up? Say, what's up? What's up to you? EJS! All right. You are here for the finale of Genesis. Oh, yeah. Oh, he took it. Okay. Yeah. Funny story about that. Casey had took a nap too yesterday before she came in the live stream yesterday. Now I hear you say you taking a nap. I probably ain't no telling. I ain't gonna say that I wouldn't, because ain't no telling how I'm gonna feel after my midnight shift tomorrow. I might end up plopping tired tomorrow there. Um, I'll still be streaming tomorrow, but yeah, I might end up. Who knows? I might just sleep before my stream tomorrow. So yeah, yeah, it happens whether we intend to or not. It happens. Yeah. So yeah, like I said, I ain't even gonna argue with it. So, but yeah, we're really yes, 8 p.m. tomorrow. Yeah, it's gonna be Yumiko number 2. So but real excited about this one because we finishing Genesis after 4 months of these Bible readings there. Um, like I say, a little late for Easter, but I mean it is what it is there, and like I say, um, so yeah. Oh, and so before I get started, here's few special announcements. I already mentioned about Exodus starting next Wednesday in May. Be reading from Exodus. Um, Also, just briefly, I'll give more detail on it tomorrow. But what I will say, um, we Miss Sherry Gray, she's gonna send me a packet or information on what all I need to get a play together for Yumiko. And what she started me out with is the 10-minute festival. Um, so I get and from my assumption, I'm thinking it's sort of like film festival, but for plays though, which you got to start somewhere. Because I know a lot of people that be trying to get big with their making movies and TV series. They start with film festival. Like the person who made Digimon, he started. he started with film festival. So that's how he got Digimon out there. So uh, this will be this will be a step up of getting Yumiko out there. I got something tomorrow. I'll give more detail on what I'm gonna do for it, what I'm gonna put together, and what I'm expecting to have for it. And yeah, then hopefully and like I say, when I get when I get the packet of what all is required, how she does things, have more detail. We'll have even more detail on that. But like I say, but yeah, I will share more tomorrow about what I'm gonna how I'm planning to enter into for a 10-minute short though. Yeah, to kind of get things kicked off there. So yeah, so that's the big announcement. And also, EJ, I'm probably I'm more than likely I can say this without a doubt. You're probably going to be a part of it, just like you was in her little Sherlock Holmes thing there. And I know you've been to the 10-minute thing before, so I know that. So yeah, somebody got a little experience with that, with working with this. So yeah, definitely gonna be definitely gonna have something for you in the play. So yeah, like I say, B, I will have the details on that tomorrow night there, and like I say, even yeah tomorrow night in the stream, and I could even give you even more detail. Just me and you talking about it. So yeah, so there. So yeah, be on the lookout to hear more about that in tomorrow's stream there. Yeah. So that's what's gonna be up there. So now we are gonna go into because it's got quite a bit in order to finish the book of Genesis out there. And it's a double conclusion. It's the conclusion of Genesis, as I just said, and it's also at the same time the conclusion of Joseph. We all last Bible reading was the beginning of Joseph, getting sold into Egypt, and hey, I had this dream, brothers, and then he was interpreting dreams for some of the people that worked for Pharaoh, then for the Pharaoh himself, and he was like, okay, appreciate that, Joseph. Okay, Joseph, we're gonna get ready for this famine that you said my dream predicted, and I'm putting you in charge. Putting you in charge. I trust you, Joseph. I, the Pharaoh, trust you, Joseph. So, yeah, Pharaoh was quick to put Joseph on the front line there to help him handle things, and what he needed to do. Pretty much like the equivalent of how kings and emperors and pharaohs, how they had what was called the advisor. Yeah, they had people to kind of advise the rulers on things like how they, what they should do and stuff like that. Sort of makes me think. I'm not sure if it's completely the same. Don't quote me on it, but in my assumption, I think this is kind of like what deacons are like to the pastor. I think deacons are like this to the pastor. Ministers might possibly have it, but I think more so the deacons are like kind of keep the pastor sort of a heads up on different things that be happening, what they need to do in the church, how certain things need to run in the church, kind of help the pastor, yeah, I know, be over the church obviously, but I think the deacons kind of help him, help the pastor keep things in order, hey, what's going on with the members, because they be more directly at the members than the pastor be. The pastor does have attention toward the members too, don't get me wrong, but the deacons, from what I have observed, and that's what I'm assuming, seem to have more connection to the congregation of the church, from what I have seen, and then especially like, when I was a youth deacon as well, and also witnessed from the adult deacons when I was growing up there. Yeah, so the deacon board meetings and all that there. um, so I think that probably, if I think you probably have a little more insight on that, EJ, because I know you one of the deacons at the church, so um, you could probably like, well, Gabe, it's actually like this. So probably, yeah, because it's been a while since I was with the deacons, but when I was as a youth deacon, under 18. So um, I hadn't really been like with the major adult deacons there after after that there. So yeah, I think you probably have a little bit more insight on the grown ups there. Yeah. So, but that's what Pharaoh has done with Joseph. He's put him pretty much like his advisor. Uh, and being that I always say, I always refer to myself King Gabe when I'm on, it's like kind of like my stage name, stuff like that. Um, if I was like an actual king, not just for channel and everything, but like I actually ruling over some empire or something like that. The people I would consider as my advisors would be my mom and dad. Former, I guess being former rulers there. I would say that would be the first ones I would consider as my advisors, being that they've been around the block. Before I sat on the throne. Okay, Gabe, son, this is what you need to do. The people need this, and the people need that, and the people need this and that and this. So that would be my first line of advisors there. Possibly some other advisors, because I think sometimes they had elder advisors, and they also had young buck advisors too. As we'll see in later scriptures, some of the kings that came. They started off with, remember when Israel first started getting kings, like they had King Saul, then you had David, and then David's son Solomon, uh, and I think Jeroboam and Robon, all so many of them after so many of David's family line. And some of them, one of them I remember reading about. We'll get to it. It'll be a while, but I remember reading one of them was not really doing so well ruling, and they was talking, the people were complaining about it. So he turned to his advisor. The elder advisors were like, "You need to listen more to the people. So they won't turn against you." But then the young bucks were like, "Nah, you guys, nah, don't listen to them old kooks. Show them people who bow you. Yeah, that you the king, and what you say go. You do whatever you want to do, and show them people who the boss is. Okay?" Oh, almost like Scar, when he's in the line, he's like, "I am the king. I can do whatever I want." So yeah, we'll be getting into that as Pastor Henry Armington say. We'll get that a little bit later. We'll be getting that when we get to there. So now let's finish. All right, so time to finish Genesis, so we'll be able to get there. Starting with the 42nd chapter, Joseph's brothers go to Egypt. When Jacob learned that there was grain for sale in Egypt, he said to his sons, "Why do you look at one another?" And he said, "Behold, I have heard there is grain for sale in Egypt. Go down and buy grain for us, that we may live and not die." Yeah, well, y'all just standing around looking at each other. Don't give us some food now. Come on, boys. Come on. So, yeah, Jacob like, Okay, come on, boys. But Jacob did not send Benjamin, Joseph's brother, with his brothers, for he feared that harm might happen to him. Thus the sons of Israel came among, to buy among the others who came, for the famine was in the land of Canaan. So yeah, he said 10 of the boys, he said 10 of them, but he held Benjamin back. Benjamin, no. I lost Jacob. I ain't finna lose you. You the last born son of Rachel. So, Benjamin stays here with me. Yeah, oh boy. You know, and any parents out there watching this, you probably say, you got that one, you got that some of y'all got that attachment with your kid, like, oh no, don't go out there, don't go out there. I don't want you to get hurt now. Yeah, I'm guilty, especially if you only got one child too. My folks very protective of me growing up, so I know how that goes. There, no, Gabe, don't do that yet. No, Gabe, stay back here now, Gabe. So, come back over here, Gabe. Now Joseph was governor over the land. He was the one who sold to all the people of the land. Oh, you think? Yeah, yeah. But we own it. Both of us own the children there. Yeah, that's. I think that we more of a whole than the ones that where it's multiple children, because like I say, yeah, we the only one. Yeah, and I probably be that way I probably me and Christina probably be like that with our first child. Just saying, Joe. So the one who sold all the land, and Joseph's brothers came, bowed themselves before him with their faces to the ground, just like Joseph's dream, and they don't even know it. They don't know they bowing down to their brother. That's what Joseph said. I had dreamed that the sun and the moon and the stars were bowing down to me. That was a sign that people in general were going to bow to him, including his own brothers. And they didn't even know it. They thought Joseph was crazy. Boy, you crazy. Why are we gonna bow down to you, little bro? Like, we the big boys in this family. You bow down to us, Joseph. I don't think so. You crazy. And look what they doing now. Bowing down to their little brother. How the tables have turned. Joseph recognized his brothers, but they did not recognize him. And Joseph remembered the dreams that he had dreamed of them, and he said to them, "You are spies. You have come to see the nakedness of the land." They said to him, "No, my lord. Your servants, we come to buy food. We are all sons of one man. We are honest men. Your servants have never been spies." Well, true, they are not spies. Now I give the brothers that much. They were being honest when they said they weren't spies. But y'all got a little something, because you say y'all honest men. But you told your daddy. You told Daddy Jacob that Joseph was eaten by a wild animal to cover up the fact that you sold him here to Egypt, and you're looking right at him bowing to the ground. Oh, that's almost making me think of a hidden camera show right now. So he said to them, "No, it is the nakedness of the land you have come to see." And they say, "We, your servants, are 12 brothers of the sons of one man of Canaan. Behold, the youngest is this day with our father, and one is no more. Oh boy. But Joseph said to them, it is as I say to you, you are spies. By this you will be tested. By the life of Pharaoh, you shall not go from this place unless your youngest brother comes here. Send one of you, let him bring your brother while you remain confined, that your words may be tested, whether there is truth in you. Or else, by the life of Pharaoh, surely you are spies. And he put them all together in custody for 3 days. You kind of test them out there a little bit. On the third day, he said to them, do this and you will live, for I fear God. If you are honest men, let one of your brothers remain confined while you are in custody, and let the rest go and carry grain for the famine of your households. Bring the youngest brother to me, or youngest brother to me, so your words will be verified, and you shall not die. And they did so. And they said to one another, in truth, we are guilty concerning our brother, in that we saw the distress of his soul when he begged us, and we would not listen. That is why this distress is upon us. And Reuben answered them, did I not tell you not to sin against the boy? But you did not listen. Now, yeah, they immediately amongst themselves, they're like, oh no, what if what if this is punishment for what we did to Joseph there? And Reuben like, I tried to tell you, I told you, brothers, that I get it. Joseph was kind of annoying and everything, but that y'all went too far. We didn't need to go that far now. I tried to warn you, but y'all didn't listen to me. No, y'all thought about, let's sell him and get some money. You didn't listen to me. No, you sure did. So, mm. So when Reuben say, but so now there comes a reckoning for his blood. They did not know that Joseph understood them, for he was an interpreter. For there was an interpreter between them. Then he turned away from them and wept. And he returned to them and spoke to them. He took Simeon from them and bound him before their eyes. And Joseph gave orders to fill their bags with grain and replace every man's money in his sack and give them provisions for their journey. This was done for them. Then they loaded their donkeys with grain and departed. And as one of them opened the sack to give to his donkey father at the lodging place, he saw his money at the mouth of the sack, and he said to his brothers, my money has been put back here in the mouth of the sack. And their hearts failed them, and they turned trembling to one another, saying, what is this that God has done to us? When they came to Jacob their father in the land of Canaan, they told him all that had happened, saying, the Lord of the land, spoke roughly to us. He took us to be spies of the land. But we said to him, we are honest men. We have never been spies. We are 12 brothers, sons of our father. One is no more, the youngest this day, with our father of the land of Canaan. And the Lord of the land, said to us, by this I shall know you are honest men. Leave one of your brothers with me, and take grain for the famine of your household. Go your way. Bring your youngest brother to me, and I will know you're not spies, but honest men, and I will deliver your brother back to you, and you shall trade in the land. As they emptied their sacks, behold, every man's bundle of money was in the sack. And when they and their father saw the bundles of money, they were afraid. Jacob, their father, said to them, you have bereaved me of my children. Joseph is no more, and Simeon is no more. Now you will take Benjamin. All this has come against me. Then Reuben said to his father, kill my two sons if I do not bring him back to you. Mm. Then, if I do not bring him back to you, put him in my hands, and I will bring him back to you. But he said, my son shall not go down for you, for his brother is dead, and he is the only one left. If harm should happen to him on the journey that you make, it would bring down my gray hairs with sorrow to Shiloh. So Jacob like, this is a little too much for Jacob here. That only son of Rachel. Mm-hmm. He had two of them, but like I say, as far as Jacob knows, he thinks Joseph is dead. He don't know Joseph's still alive. So in his mind, Benjamin all he got there. Joseph's brothers returned to Egypt in the 43rd chapter. Now the famine was severe in the land, and when they had eaten the grain that they had bought from Egypt, their father said, go again, buy us a little food. But Judah said to him, the man solemnly warned us, you shall not see my face unless your brother is with you. If you will send our brother with us, we will go down and buy food for you. But if you will not send him, we will not go down. For the man said to us, you won't see my face unless your brother is with you. Israel said, why do you treat me so badly as to tell the man that you had another brother? They replied, the man questioned us carefully about ourselves and our kindred, and saying, is your father still alive? Do you have a brother? What we told him was in answer to these questions. Could we in any way know that he was going to say, bring your brother down? Yeah, we would, like daddy, we, they questioned us before we got our food and everything. We just trying to keep the peace. And just, got 12 of us, lost one. Youngest one back there with daddy. Daddy's still alive. Yeah, okay. We didn't know he was going to ask us to bring Benjamin. Oh boy. And Judah said to Israel, his father, send the boy with me, and we will arise and go, that we may live and not die. For we and you, and also our little ones, I will be a pledge of his safety. From my hand, you shall require him. If I do not bring him back and set him before you, let me bear the blame forever. If we had not delayed, we would have returned twice. Then their father Israel said to them, if it must be so, then do this. Take some of the choice fruits of the land in your bags to carry as a present to the man, a little balm and a little honey, gum, myrrh, pistachio nuts, and almonds. Take double the money with you. Carry back with you the money that was returned in the mouth of your sacks. Perhaps it was an oversight. Take also your brother and arise and go again to the man. May God Almighty grant you mercy before the man, and may he send back your other brother and Benjamin with. As for me, if I am bereaved of my children, I am bereaved. So the men took this present, and they took double the money with them. And Benjamin, they arose and went to Egypt and stood before Joseph. When Joseph saw Benjamin with them, he said to the steward of his house, bring the men into the house and slaughter an animal, make ready, for the men are to dine with me at noon. The man did as Joseph told him and brought the men to Joseph's house. And the men were afraid because they were brought into Joseph's house, and they were brought in so that he may say, I skipped a part here. They were afraid because he brought, and they said, it is because of the money which was replaced in our sacks the first time that we are brought in, so that he may assault us and fall upon us to make us servants and seize our donkeys. So they went up to the steward of Joseph's house and spoke with him at the door and said, oh, my lord, we came down the first time to buy food. And when they came to the lodging place, we opened our sack, and each man's money was in the mouth of the sack. Our money was full in weight. So we have brought it again with us. We brought our other money to buy with us to buy food. We did not know who put the money in our sacks. He replied, Peace be with you. Do not be afraid. Your God and the God of your fathers has put this treasure in the sacks for you, but I received your money. Then he brought Simeon out to them, and when the man had brought the men into Joseph's house, given them water, washed their feet, when he given their donkey's father, they prepared the present for Joseph's coming at noon, and heard they should eat bread there. When Joseph came home, they brought into the house to him the present that they had, bowed before him to the ground. They inquired about their welfare, and he inquired about their welfare and said, Is your father well? The old man of whom you speak of, is he still alive? And they said, your servant, our father is well. He is still alive. And they bowed their heads and prostrated themselves, and he lifted up his eyes and saw his brother Benjamin and his mother's son, and said, This is your youngest brother of whom you spoke to me. God be gracious to you, my son. Joseph hurried out, for his compassion grew warm for his brother. He sought a place to weep. He entered his chamber and wept there, and washed his face and came out, and controlling himself, he said, Serve the food. They served him by himself, and them by themselves, and the Egyptians who ate with him by themselves, because the Egyptians could not eat with Hebrews, for it was abomination to the Egyptians. And they sat before him, the firstborn according to his birthright, and the youngest according to his youth. And the men looked at one another in amazement. Portions were taken to them from Joseph's tables, but Benjamin's portion was 5 times as much as any of theirs. And they drank and were merry with him. And now, chapter 44. Joseph about to test his brothers. They say Joseph tests his brothers. It's not quite finished yet. Then he commanded the steward of the house, fill the men's sack with food, as much as they can carry, and put each man's money in the mouth of his sack, and put my cup, silver cup, in the mouth of the sack of the youngest, with his money for the grain. And he did as Joseph told him. As soon as the morning was light, the men was sent with their donkeys. They had gone a short distance from the city. Now Joseph said to his steward, Up, follow after the men, and when you overtake them, say to them, Why have you repaid evil for good? Is it not from that my Lord drinks? And by this he practices divination. You have done evil in doing this. Oh boy. When he overtook them, he spoke them these words. They said to him, Why does my Lord speak such words as these? Far be it your servants to do such a thing. Behold, the money that we found in the mouths of our sacks we have brought back to you from the land of Canaan. How could we steal silver and gold from your Lord's house? Whichever of your servants is found with it shall die, and we will also be my Lord's servants. So he said, Let it be as you say. So each man quickly lowered his sack to the ground, and each man opened his sack. He searched, beginning with the eldest and ending with the youngest, and the cup was found in Benjamin's sack. They tore their clothes, and every man loaded his donkey and returned to the city. Oh boy. When Judah and his brothers came to Joseph's house, and he was still there, they fell before him to the ground. And Joseph said to them, What deed is this that you have done? Do you not know that a man like me can indeed practice divination? And Judah said, What shall we say to my Lord? What shall we speak? Or how can we clear ourselves? God has found out the guilt of your servants. Behold, we are my Lord's servants, both we and he who has whose hand in the cup that's been found. But he said, far be it that I should do so. Only the man in whose cup was found that shall be my servant. But the rest of you shall go in peace to your father. Then Judah went up to him and said, O Lord, please let your servant speak a word in my Lord's ear. Let not your anger burn against your servant, for you are like the Pharaoh himself. My Lord asked his servant, saying, have you a father or a brother? And we say to my Lord, we have a father, an old man, and a young child, a young brother, the child of his old age. His brother is dead, and he alone is left with his mother's children, and his father loves him. Then you say to your servants, bring him down to me, that I may set my eyes upon him. We say to my Lord, the boy cannot leave his father, for if he should leave his father would die. Then you said to your servants, unless the youngest brother comes down with you, you shall not see my face again. We went back to your servant, my father. We told him the words of our Lord. And when our father said, go again and buy us a little food, we say, we cannot go down. If the youngest brother goes with us, then we will go down. For we cannot see the man's face unless our youngest brother is with us. Then your servant said, your servant, my father, said to us, you know that my wife bore me 2 sons. One left me, and I say, surely he has been torn to pieces, and I have never seen him since. If you take this one also from me, and harm happens to them, you will bring down the gray hairs in evil to Sheol. Now, therefore, as soon as I come to your servant, my father, and the boy is not with us, then as his life is bound up in the boy's life, as soon as he sees that the boy is not with us, he will die. And your servants will bring down the gray hairs of your servant, our father, with sorrow to Sheol. For your servant became a pledge of safety for the boy to my father, saying, if I do not bring him back to you, then I shall bear the blame before my father all my life. Now, therefore, please let your servant remain instead of the boy as a servant to my Lord, and let the boy go back with his brothers. For how can I go back to my father if the boy is not with me? I fear to see the evil that my father would find. So let's see how this concludes in the 45th chapter. Begging for their lives then, that, or more so for Benjamin's life. Then Joseph could not control himself anymore. Before all who stood by him, he cried, make everyone go out from me. So no one stayed with him. When Joseph made himself known to his brothers, he wept out loud so that the Egyptians heard it, and the household of Pharaoh heard it. And Joseph said to his brothers, I am Joseph. Is my father still alive? But his brothers could not answer them, for they were dismayed at his presence. Like, you're Joseph? Joseph said to his brothers, come near me, please. They came near, and he said, I am your brother Joseph, whom you sold into Egypt. And now, do not be distressed or angry with yourself because he sold me here, but God sent me before you to preserve life. You know, like that saying, what the devil means for bad, God will make it for good. For the famine has been seen in the land these 2 years, and yet 5 years in which there will be neither plowing nor harvest. And God sent me before you to preserve for you a remnant on earth and keep alive for you and many survivors. So it was not you who sent me here, but God. He has made me a father to Pharaoh, the Lord of all his house, ruler over all the land of Egypt. Hurry and go get my father and say to him that your son Joseph, God has made me Lord of Egypt. Come down, come down to me and do not tarry. You shall dwell in the land of Goshen. That name Goshen gonna be important later when we get to Exodus. And you shall be near me, you and your children, and your children's children, and your flocks, your herds, and all that you have. There I will provide for you, for there will be are yet 5 years of famine to come, so that you and your household and all that you have do not come to poverty. And now your eyes see, and the eyes of my brother Benjamin sees, that it is my mouth that speaks to you. You must tell my father of all my honor in Egypt and all that you have seen. Hurry, bring my father down here. Then he fell upon his brother Benjamin's neck and wept, and Benjamin wept on his neck. And he kissed all his brothers and wept on them. After that, his brothers talked with him. Then, when the report was heard in Pharaoh's house, Joseph's brothers had come. It pleased Pharaoh and his servants. And the Pharaoh said to Joseph, say to your brothers, do this, load your beasts, go back to the land of Canaan, and take your father and your households and come to me. I will give them the best of the land of Egypt. You shall eat the fat of the land. And you, Joseph, are commanded to say, do this, take the wagons from the land of Egypt for your little ones, for your wives, and bring your father and come. Have no concern for your goods, for the best of the land of Egypt is yours. Pharaoh pulling out the stops here. The sons of Israel did so, and Joseph gave them wagons according to the command of Pharaoh, and gave them provisions for the journey. To each and all of them he gave a change of clothes, but to Benjamin he gave 300 shekels of silver and 5 changes of clothes. Yeah, getting the little brother a little extra there. To his father he sent as follows: 10 donkeys loaded with good things of Egypt, 10 female donkeys loaded with grain, bread, and provision for the journey, for his father of the journey. Then he sent his brothers away. As they departed, he said to them, do not quarrel on the way. So they went up out of Egypt and came to the land of Canaan to their father Jacob, and told him, Joseph is still alive. He is the ruler of all the land of Egypt. His heart became numb, for he did not believe them. But when they told him all the words of Joseph, which he had said to them, and when he saw the wagons that Joseph had sent to carry him, the spirit of their father Jacob revived. And Israel said, it is enough. Joseph, my son, is still alive. I will go to see him before I die. And now chapter 46, have a little family reunion here. So Israel took his journey with all that he had, came to Beersheba and offered sacrifices to the God, his father Isaac. And God spoke to Israel in visions of the night and said, Jacob, Jacob. He said, here am I. And he said, I am God, the God of your father. Do not be afraid to go down to Egypt, for there I will make you a great nation. I myself will go down with you in Egypt, and I shall bring you up again in Joseph's hand. Joseph's hand shall close your eyes. Then Jacob set out for Beersheba, and the sons of Israel carried Jacob their father, their little ones, and their wives, and the wagons, and the Pharaoh had sent to carry them. They also took their livestock and their goods, which they had gained in the land of Canaan, and came to Egypt. Jacob and all his offspring was with him, his sons with him, his daughters, and his sons' daughters, all the offspring he brought with him to Egypt. Remember way back with Abraham. Remember how God told Abraham, your descendants are gonna be countless. It'll be like the stars in the sky. Here we are. Abraham and Sarah, they had Isaac and Ishmael and Isaac. Now from Isaac and Rebekah, we got Jacob and Esau. And now from Jacob, a total of 12 brothers, then plus the inclusion of their sister Dinah. Yeah. So we got all Jacob's children here. And remember, Jacob also goes by Israel. So now this is the birth of the Israelites. So I shall bring you up out of Egypt. They took all the offspring that he brought with him into Egypt. Now these are the names of the descendants of Israel who came into Egypt. Jacob and his son, Reuben, Jacob's firstborn, and the sons of Reuben, Hanok, Palu, Hezron, and Carmi. The sons of Simeon, Jamin, Ohad, Jachin, Zohar, and Shaul, the son of a Canaanite woman. Got more names here. The son of Levi, Goshen, Kohath, and Merari. The sons of Judah were Onah, Shelah, Perez, and Zia. But and Unah died in the land of Canaan. And the sons of Perez and Harzon and Hamon, the sons of Iskar, Tola, Pava, Yob, and Shimron. The sons of Zebulun were Shirat, Elon, Jehiel. These are the sons of Leah, whom she bore to Jacob and Paran the ram together with his daughter Dinah. All together, his sons and his daughters number 33. Ooh. The sons of Gad, Zapon, Hagar, Shani, Esbon, Eri, the Eri, Arodi, Areli, the sons of Ashtar, Imnah, Ishva, the Ishvi, Bilah, and Sarah, and Sirah, their sister, and the sons of Birah, Heba, and Malachi. These are the sons of Ziblah, whom Laban gave to Leah, his daughter, and these she bore to Jacob 16 persons. Oh boy, it's a lot of children here. Man, oh boy, I know I'm talking about one that have our little one there. Oh boy, imagine me and Christina have nations like this. Oh boy, that's we definitely would have to. We need more than a house. We need an open field for all these children there. Yeah. The sons of Rachel, Jacob's wife, Joseph and Benjamin. And to Joseph in the land of Egypt were born Manasseh and Ephraim, whom Asenath, the daughter of Potiphar, the priest of Onah, bore to him. And the sons of Benjamin, Bilhah, Belka, Ashbel, Gera, Nema, Ea, Raj, Muppin, Hebron, and A-R-D. Oh my goodness. Okay. So I think Benjamin is older than I thought he was. They didn't say exactly how old the other sons were, or even Benjamin, but Benjamin looked like he a young man here, and seemed like because they talking about Benjamin got some kids here, so the sons of Benjamin. So apparently he was married and had some kids, and as I say, Jake, but like I say, he was the only him and Joseph were the two born of Rachel, who we know Joseph loved more than Leah. So that's why he was attached to Joseph and Benjamin so much. Yeah, even with Benjamin being a grown man, which can't really point fingers. I mean, I'm 37, and my folks are pretty well attached to me, and I know you can relate on that, EJ. So as I say, we even when we grown, our folks still we still they still got the attachment to us there. Well, pretty much like Jacob with Joseph and Benjamin here. These were the let's say sons of Jacob and the son of Dan. Husham, the sons of Nepah, Jaziel, Goni, Jazar, and Shilem, the sons of Bilhah, whom Laban gave to Rachel his daughter, and she bore to Jacob 7 persons in all. It's like I was telling Christina, yeah, back in this time period, when you marry, even if you just had one wife, because some of them did marry more than once, like Esau, he had 2 wives, then he married a 3rd wife, and Jacob got tricked into having 2 wives. But even with just one wife, you were given a servant girl in addition to that wife, where you could get children from your wife, obviously. Then servant girl just pretty much there to give you some bonus children. So okay, yeah, that's the way it was back then. But yeah, like I say, I'm honestly glad that I came up in this time, because yeah, like I say, I read, yeah, I'm married to Christina. That's the only one I want to, that's the only one I want to be going to as far as and to say, okay, baby, lay with me, as I've heard said there. So yeah, I could not see myself like, okay, well tonight I'm gonna take the servant girl, and yeah, she's gonna give me a bill. I'll be with her tonight, baby. Okay, Gabe. So, I don't see myself in that now. Yeah, I guess that back then, I guess so, but I'm glad I came up in this time period. I'm sticking with one, one wife, please. I don't need no side girls. That's okay. I just one wife, please. So, and all the persons belonging to Jacob who came into Egypt, who were his own descendants, not including Jacob's sons' wives, who were 66 persons in all. And the sons of Joseph, who were born to him in Egypt, were 2. And the persons of the house of Jacob who came to Egypt were 70. Ooh, 70. And he sent Judah ahead of him to Joseph to show the way before him in Goshen, and they came into the land of Goshen. Joseph prepared his chariot and went up to meet Israel, his father, in Goshen, and presented himself and fell on his neck and wept on his neck a good while. Israel said to Joseph, now let me die, since I have seen your face, now that I know you're still alive. Joseph said to his brothers and his father's household, I will go up to tell Pharaoh and say, my brothers and my father's household who are in the land of Canaan have come to me, and the men are shepherds, for they have been keepers of livestock, and they have brought their flocks and herd and all they have. When Pharaoh calls you and says, what is your occupation? You will say, your servants have been keepers of the livestock from our youth even unto now, both we and our fathers, in order that you may dwell in the land of Goshen, for every shepherd is an abomination to the Egyptian. Okay. And chapter 47. So Joseph went in and told Pharaoh, my fathers and my brothers and their with their flocks and their herds, and all they possess have come from the land of Canaan. Now they are in the land of Goshen, and from among his brothers he took 5 men and presented them to Pharaoh. Pharaoh said to his brothers, "What is your occupation?" And they said to the Pharaoh, "Your servant are shepherds, as our fathers were." They said to Pharaoh, "We have come to sojourn in the land, for there is no pasture for your servant's flock, for the famine is severe in the land of Canaan. And now let us, your servants, dwell in the land of Goshen." And Pharaoh said to Joseph, "Your father and your brothers have come to you, and the land of Egypt is before you. Settle your father and your brothers in the best of the land. Let them settle in the land of Goshen. And if you know any able men among them, put them in charge of my livestock." Then Joseph brought in Jacob his father, stood him before Pharaoh, and Jacob blessed the Pharaoh. The Pharaoh said to Jacob, "How many days of the years are your life?" And Jacob said to Pharaoh, "The days of the years of my sojourning are 130 years." Wow. Jacob and got up there. Yeah, they had not. I had not heard his age announced until now. I mean, I know it was announced before, but it was a while back when they announced Jacob's age. Now he's 130 years old. Woof! You man, I was say they be living some long times, and they lived. And I know earlier when we first started, like with Adam and Cain and all them that came, Seth and Noah and all them, they were living like up to 600 and 900 and stuff like that. Like, woo! As I said before, there must have long graying beards. You talk about your beard, EJ. Yeah, just imagine what kind of beards we'd have living in our hundreds and 600 and all that there. Well, now my children, gather unto me now. Scratch that beard a little bit there. Ooh, this beard's pretty long now, children, and pretty gray. Or might be white by that time. Yeah, it go from beard as you get older, they go to gray, and you blessed to live this long. You gonna see some white hair. Yeah, it's like, oh, your hair white. Well, that's just a blessing that I lived this long. So, yeah. Thank you, Lord, for the white hair to know I'm still here on this earth for a reason. So, even with the white hair. So, yeah. Even it might be on the cane, but I'm still here though. So, yeah. So 100 few and evil have been the days of the years of my life, and they have not attended the days of the years of my life, of my father in their sojourning. Jacob blessed the Pharaoh and went out from the presence of Pharaoh, and Joseph settled his father and his brothers and gave them possession of the land of Egypt, the best of the land, in the land of Ramesses. Oh, I see where they got that name Ramesses for, that they used. Remember in the Ten Commandments movie? Remember in the Ten Commandments, they gave the first Pharaoh that was in the movie the name Seti, I think, and his son was Ramses, the one that married Nefertiti. Talking about, Moses, I'm going to have Nefertiti. And then when Moses came down there and said, "Let my people go," Ramses was the one in charge at that moment. "Who is this Lord that I, as the Pharaoh, must obey?" So now we see where they got that name from there. As Pharaoh had commanded, and Joseph provided his father, his brothers, and all his father's household with food according to the number of the dependents. And now there was no, now I say Joseph and the famine, starting with the 13th verse. Now there was no food in all the land, for the famine was very severe, so that the land of Egypt and the land of Canaan languished by reason of the famine. Joseph gathered up all the money that was found in the land of Egypt and the land of Canaan, gathered up all the money in the land of Egypt and the land of Canaan in exchange for the grain they bought. Joseph brought the money, to Pharaoh's household. And when the money was all spent in the land of Egypt and in the land of Canaan, all the Egyptians came to Joseph and said, "Give us food. Why should we die before your eyes? For our money is gone." Joseph answered, "Give your livestock, and I will give you food in exchange for your livestock if your money is gone." So they brought their livestock to Joseph, and Joseph gave them food in exchange for their horses and the flocks and herds and the donkeys. He supplied them with food in exchange for all their livestock that year. And when the year was ended, they came to him the following year. "We cannot hide from my lord that our money is all spent, the herd of the livestock. So my lord, there is nothing left in the sight of my lord but our bodies of the land. Why should we die before your eyes, and we and our land? Buy us and our land food, that and we with our land will be servants to Pharaoh. Give us seed that we may live and not die, and that the land will not be desolate." So Joseph brought all the land of Egypt before Pharaoh, for all the Egyptians sold their fields because the famine was severe. The land became Pharaoh's, for as the people he made servants of them from one end of Egypt to the other. Only the land of the priests he did not buy, for the priests had a fixed allowance from Pharaoh, but they lived on the allowance that the Pharaoh gave them. Therefore, they did not sell their land. Then Joseph said to the people, "Behold, I have brought this day brought you and your land to Pharaoh. Now here is seed for you. You shall sow in the land, and the harvest shall give and you shall give a fifth to Pharaoh. 4/5 shall be your own as the seed for the field, as food for yourselves and your household." Ooh, boy, it's a storm out there. "Household as the seeds of the field, and food for yourself and your household, and food for your little ones." And they say, "You have saved our lives. May it please my Lord, we will be servants to Pharaoh." Joseph made a statute concerning the land of Egypt, and it stands to this day, that Pharaoh should have a fifth. The land of the priests alone did not become Pharaoh's. Thus Israel settled in the land of Egypt, in the land of Goshen. They gained possessions in it and were fruitful and multiplied greatly. Jacob lived in the land of Egypt 17 years. So the days of Jacob, the years of his life, were 147. So he lived past. Remember, they say They say it was going to be 7 years of plentiful. Then you had 7 years of famine. So Jacob lived. So that means, yeah, after Jacob had officially lived past this famine. Yeah, so and he was so the days of his life were 147, 3 years away from 150. And oh, it's so shocking, it makes it's thundering. It's a thundering shock. And when the time drew near that Israel must die, he called his son Joseph and said to him, "If I have found favor in your sight, put your hand under my thigh." Oh, the thing that they did there. "And promise to deal kindly and truly with me. Do not bury me in Egypt. Let me lie with my fathers. Carry me out of Egypt and bury me in their burying place." And he answered, "I will do as you have said." He said, "Swear it to me." And he swore to him, and Israel bowed himself on the head of his bed. And now the 48th chapter. After this, Joseph was told, "Behold, your father is ill." So he took with him his sons Manasseh and Ephraim, And it was told to Jacob, your son Joseph has come to you. And Israel summoned his strength and sat up in the bed. Jacob said to Joseph, God Almighty appeared before me at Luz in the land of Canaan and blessed me, and said to me, behold, I will make you fruitful and multiply. I will make you a company of peoples, and will give this land to your offspring after you for an everlasting possession. And now your two sons who were born to you in the land of Egypt before I came to you in Egypt are mine. Ephraim and Manasseh shall be mine, as Reuben and Simeon are, and the children that fathered after them shall be yours. They shall be called by the name of their brothers in their inheritance. As for me, when I came from Padan to my sorrow, Rachel died in the land of Canaan on the way. When there was still some distance to go to Ephraim, and I buried her there on the way to Ephraim, there, that is Bethlehem. When Israel saw Joseph's sons, he said, who are these? Joseph said to his father, they are my sons who God has given me. And he said, bring them to me, please, that I may bless them. Now the eyes of Israel were dim with age, so he could not see. So Joseph brought them near. He kissed them and embraced them. And Israel said to Joseph, I have never expected to see your face, and behold, God has let me see your offspring. Then Joseph removed them from his knee and bowed himself to the face of the earth. And Joseph took them both, Ephraim in his right hand, toward Israel's left hand, and Manasseh in his, oh boy, just Ephraim in his, I will make, gotta make me lose my place for a little bit. Say, and if Manasseh in his left hand toward Israel's right hand brought them near him, and Israel stretched out his right hand and laid it on the head of Ephraim, who was the younger, and his left hand on the head of Manasseh, crossing his hands, for Manasseh was the firstborn, and he blessed Joseph and said, the God before whom my fathers Abraham and Isaac walked, the God who has been my shepherd all my life long, to this day, the angel who has redeemed me in all my life to this day, say, and redeemed me from all evil, bless the boys. And in them let my name be carried on, the name of my fathers Abraham and Isaac. Let them grow into the multitude in the midst of the earth. When Joseph saw his father laid his right hand upon the hand of Ephraim, it displeased him. He took his father's hand and moved it from Ephraim to Manasseh's head. Joseph said to his father, not this way, my father, since this one was the firstborn, put your right hand on his head. But his father refused. I know, my son, I know. He shall become a people, never he shall also be he also shall be great. Nevertheless, his younger brother shall be greater than he, and his offspring shall become a multitude of nations, and he blessed them this day, saying, by you, Israel, I pronounce blessing, saying, God make you as Ephraim and as Manasseh. So it's almost it said he wanted the younger one there. So if you remember Jacob, between him and Esau, Jacob was the younger one. Thus he put Ephraim before Manasseh. And then Israel said to Joseph, behold, I am about to die, but God will be with you and will bring you again to the land of your fathers. Moreover, I have given you rather than your brothers one mountain slope that I took from the hand of the Amorites with my sword and with my bow. Then now for the sons, let's see what he's gonna do. What Jacob gonna do for the sons there. Chapter 49. Jacob called his sons, gather yourself that I may tell you what shall happen to you in the days to come. Assemble and listen. O sons of Jacob, listen to Israel your father. Reuben, you are my firstborn, my might, and the first fruits of my strength, preeminent in dignity and preeminent in power, unstable as water. You shall not have preeminence because you went up to your father's bed, then you defiled it. He went up on to my couch. Mm. Simeon and Levi are brothers, weapons of violence, and their swords. Let my soul come not into their counsel. O glory, be not joined into their company. For in their anger they kill men, and in their willingfulness they hamstrung oxen. Cursed be their anger, for it is fierce, and their wrath is cruel. I will divide them in Jacob and scatter them in Israel. Judah, your brothers shall praise you. Your hand shall be on the necks of your enemies. Your father's sons shall bow before you. Judah's is a lion's cub. From the prey of my son, you have gone up. He stooped down and crouched as a lion, and as a lioness who dares arouse him. The scepter shall not depart from Judah, nor the ruler's staff from between his feet, until tribute comes to him. And to him shall be the obedience of peoples, binding his foal to the vine, and his donkey's colt to the choice of vine. He has washed his garments in wine, and his vestures in the blood of grapes. His eyes are darker than wine, and his teeth are whiter than milk. Zebulun shall dwell at the shore of the sea. He shall become a haven for ships, and his border shall be at Sidon. Issachar is a strong donkey, crouching between the shepherds. He saw that the resting place was good and the land was pleasant, so he bowed his shoulder to bear and became a servant at forced labor. Dan shall judge his people as one of the tribes of Israel. Dan shall be a serpent in the way, a viper by the path that bites the horse's head, so that his rider falls backwards. I wait for your salvation, O Lord. Raiders shall raid Gad, but he shall raid their heels. Asher's food shall be rich, and he shall yield royal delicacies. Naphtali is a doe who let loose the bears, beautiful fawn. Joseph is a fruitful barn by the spring. His branches run over the wall. The archers bitterly attacked him, shot at him, and harassed him severely. Yet his bow remained unmoved. His arms were made agile by the hands of the mighty one. O Jacob, from there is the shepherd, the stone of Israel. And by God of your father, who will help you, by the Almighty, who will bless you with blessings above, with blessings of heaven above, blessings of the deep that crouches beneath, blessings of the breast of the womb and the womb. The blessings of your father are mighty beyond the blessings of my parents, up to the bounties of the everlasting hills. May they be on your head, Joseph, and on the brow of him who was set apart from his brothers. Benjamin is a ravenous wolf, in the morning devouring the prey, in the evening dividing the spoil. All these are the 12 tribes of Israel. This is what their father said to them as he blessed them, blessing each one of them, blessing each with a blessing suitable to him. He commanded them and said to them, I am to be gathered to my people. Bury me with my fathers in the cave that is in the field of Ephron the Hittite, in the cave that is the field of Mepah, to the east of Man, in the land of Canaan, which Abraham bought with the field of Ephron the Hittite to possess as a burying place. They buried Abraham and Sarah his wife. They buried Isaac and Rebekah, his wife, and there I buried Leah. The field and the cave that is in it were brought by the Hittite from the Hittites. When Jacob finished commanding his sons, he drew up his feet into the bed and breathed his last breath and was gathered unto his people. And the finale, chapter 50, Joseph fell on his face, on his father's face, and wept over him and kissed him. And Joseph commanded his servants and physicians to embalm his father, so the physicians embalmed Israel. 40 days were required for it, but that is how many are required for embalming. The Egyptians wept for him 70 days. Then, when the days of weeping were past, Joseph spoke to the household of Pharaoh. If I have found favor in your eyes, please speak to the ears of Pharaoh. My father made me swear I am about to die in my tomb that I hold out for myself in the land of Canaan. There you shall bury me. Now therefore let me go and bury my father, and I will return. Pharaoh answered, go bury your father as he made you swear. So Joseph went and buried his father. With him went all the servants of Pharaoh, the elders of his household, and all the elders of the land of Egypt, as well as the household of Jacob, his brothers, and his father's household. For their children, their flocks, and their herds were left in the land of Goshen. And there went up with him both chariots and horsemen. It was a great company. When they came dressed at the threshing floor of Adad, which is beyond Jordan, they lamented there with great and grievous lamentation. And he went and he made a mourning for his father 7 days. And when the inhabitants of the land and the Canaanites saw the mourning of the threshing at Ahad, they say this is a grievous mourning by the Egyptians. Therefore, the place was named Adam Miram. It is beyond the Jordan. But thus his sons did for him as he had commanded them, for his sons carried him to the land of Canaan to be buried in the cave at the field of Machpelah, to the east of Moran, which Abraham bought with the field of Ephraim. The Hittite to possess as a burying place. After he had buried his father, Joseph returned to Egypt with his brothers, and all had gone up to bury his father. When Joseph's brothers saw that their father was dead, they say, it may be that Joseph will hate us and pay us back for the evil we did to him. So they sent a message to Joseph saying, your father gave us this command before he died. Say to Joseph, please forgive the transgressions of your brothers and their sin, because they did evil to you. And now please forgive their transgression of the servants of the God. Your father Joseph wept when he spoke to them. His brothers came and fell down before him and said, behold, we are your servants. Joseph said to them, do not fear, I am in the place. Do not fear, for I am in the place of God. For as you meant evil against me, but God meant it for good, to bring about the many people should be kept alive as they are today. So do not fear, I will provide you and your little ones. Thus he comforted them and spoke kindly to them. And so Joseph remained he and his father's house. Joseph lived 110 years. And Joseph saw Ephraim's children of the third generation, the children of Machir, the son of Manasseh, were counted as Joseph's own. And Joseph said to his brothers, I am about to die, but God will visit you and bring you up out of this land to the land he swore to Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. And Joseph made his sons swear the sons of Israel swear, saying, surely God will visit you, and you shall carry up my bones from here So Joseph died being 110 years old when they embalmed him, and he was put in a coffin in Egypt. And that is the conclusion of the book of Genesis. Yes. Oh yeah. And like I say, next when we come back here next week, which will be the month of May, we'll be starting with Exodus. Oh yeah. Start the new, and let's say like the new season of a new series there. So yeah. That's all for that here. Um, but we could just make sure y'all definitely like, share, and subscribe. And, make definitely support us on Patreon. Also, just like you're hanging out with us here in the live stream, definitely be sure to you know hang out with us on Facebook and Discord. And we'll see y'all in the next video, next live stream tomorrow night. You know what it's gonna be. But make sure you don't miss it, and I will post it in the community tab so y'all will be able to know it's coming. See y'all then. Take care, everybody.